What's going on, guys? Grasshopper here, and welcome back to another video. This is going to be an Overwatch video, and it's an updated overview on the hero Bastion. So Bastion was changed back in February of this year, and I finally got around to making an updated overview on him because I know they're not going to be making any more changes to him soon. So we're just going to get straight into it, and this is going to run down his abilities and how to use in his counters and everything. So to start off, Bastion is a defensive hero. He has high power. He has 200 health and 100 armor, and then he is a low mobility hero, and according to the Overwatch wiki, he is a 1-star hero, which means he is low difficulty to use. So we'll move on to Bastion's weapons. He actually has 2 firing modes that are switched with his ability Reconfigure at any time. The 2 modes are Recon Configuration and Sentry Configuration. The first one, Recon, is Bastion's default configuration and is the mode he can walk around with. Bastion has a submachine gun that has 25 ammo and reloads in 2 seconds. It does anywhere from 6 to 20 damage at 8 rounds per second and can do headshots, so the average DPS is about 130. You really should only use this when you need to be mobile and when you're at medium range, but you want to make sure to go for headshots to get that extra damage in there. The second mode is Sentry, and this is Bastion's turret configuration and is the high damage mode. It is a Gatling gun with 300 ammo, reloads in 2 seconds, and Bastion can't move in this configuration, so you want to be in a good spot. The damage is 4 to 15 per round at 35 rounds per second and cannot do headshots, so the average DPS is 315. The old Bastion used to be able to do headshots, and you could do so much damage when you're in this turret form, but now there's no critical hit and you just do a flat damage. You want to be in this mode as much as possible because it does a ton of damage, it has so much ammo, and Bastion's passive ability lets him take 20% less damage in this configuration. This configuration can bust through shields and take out a whole enemy team if they don't run for cover. Bastion's critical hitbox, or the head, for this configuration is a blue cube on the opposite side of the gun, so you want to make sure to keep an eye on any flankers that get behind you. Bastion's abilities are on the screen now. His ultimate is tank configuration, and this is where Bastion transforms into its tank mode for a short time and arms itself with a powerful cannon. The ultimate lasts for 8 seconds, and you can get a maximum of 7 shots off, so make them count. The cannon does 205 damage for a direct hit, and the damage scales down as splash damage in a 4-meter radius. The shots can damage Bastion also, and they do 35 damage to yourself. The strategy for this ultimate is to use it to turn a fight into your team's favor, and you should aim for direct shots at squishy targets first to erase them from the battle. A pro tip is you can super jump into the air if you fire a shot at the ground and jump at the same time. This is useful for gaining height on the enemy when you're ulting. While in tank form, Bastion can still use self-repair to heal itself, but you'll use up time from the cannon and you'll get less shots off, obviously. Bastion's first ability is Reconfiguration, and this is just where he can switch between Recon and Sentry mode at any time. It takes 1 second to change into Sentry mode, which is the turret mode, and it takes a half a second to switch into Recon mode, which is the default walking mode. You can reconfigure in midair, and if you reconfigure to switch to a different mode, if you wait 2 seconds and then switch back, his weapons will be reloaded. So if you're in like turret form and you have like 100 ammo, switching into your Recon mode to move positions, and then when 2 seconds passes, when you go back into that Sentry mode, you'll have a full clip of ammo again. Bastion's next ability is Self-Repair, and this is where Bastion heals itself. This is a charge ability very similar to D.Va's defense matrix, so it can't be used constantly as it cools down in 1 second, but it also charges back up over time. You heal 75 health per second over a maximum of 4 seconds, which is a maximum healing of 300. It takes 7 seconds to fully charge back up, and you can use the ability every 1 second as long as there is charge. Bastion's next ability is a passive ability, and it's called Ironclad. This is where Bastion takes 20% less damage in Sentry and tank configurations. This ability was added to Bastion back in March to make it more survivable and kind of balance him out a little bit. So let's move on to Bastion's counters. Bastion counters slow comps and barrier heavy comps, or shield comps. So Bastion counters Winston, Reinhardt, Zarya, Lucio, and Torbjorn. He's up there as a tank killer just like Reaper. Bastion is weak against range heroes and crowd control heroes, so Bastion is weak against Hanzo, Widowmaker, Pharah, Junkrat, Genji, Tracer, Roadhog, Mei, and Reaper. The problem with countering Bastion, though, is that when a team goes up against him, they can't get in the right position to attack him, and the flankers usually don't focus him, but that's probably the best way because usually when one team has a Bastion, they also have a Reinhardt in front, so you can't really like hook him or maybe hit him with a Pharah or like a Widowmaker or Hanzo, so you need to try to flank behind them or get the Reinhardt out of the way, and then you can take out the Bastion from range. So let's move on to the how to use Bastion. Bastion works well at surprising enemy teams in unexpected locations and or whenever Bastion's team works together to keep him alive. You want to set up in sentry configuration where you have cover on your flanks and have a mid to long range sight line on the enemies. Bastion is high damage but can be focused down by enemies quickly since you can't move, so if targeted you need to move positions and heal yourself. Bastion's recon configuration is actually pretty decent. It's almost as good as Soldier 76, so don't be afraid to attack within your team in recon mode. On payload attack, setting up on the payload with a teammate shielding your front is very effective since the enemies will have to flank you to take you out. Overall, you want to focus the DPS heroes on the enemy team first since they can take you out easily, and you need to move to a new position every so often to surprise the enemy team each time they make a push. You can combine Bastion's ultimate with a teammates like Zarya's, Mei's, or Reinhardt's, but this is usually not necessary if you can aim accurately and kill the weak heroes first. Bastion is a fun hit-skin hero to deny enemies certain areas of the map, but you have to be disciplined enough to not overcommit to one position or the enemy team will make a plan to kill you. You gotta stay on the move and heal yourself when necessary to stay alive. Having your team work around you is the easiest way to win, but some people can be kinda toxic and they will not want to work around you and they'll actually want you to switch, but Bastion can be very good, especially on defense. Bastion might seem like a cheap hero to use, but that's because players walk right into his area of denial instead of taking Bastion out from a weird angle or from range. I recommend everyone give the friendly yet deadly Omnic a try at least once to learn his playstyle, which will also help you learn how to counter him, and sometimes you'll dominate the enemy team, and it's a lot of fun when the enemies just can't counter you as Bastion. So yeah guys, that was my updated overview on Bastion. I wish I could have got this out sooner, like when he was changed, but I didn't know if Blizzard was going to change him again, and I've been busy working and whatever, but it's finally up, so this will definitely help out any new players. So if you know any of them, send this video their way, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And as always guys, I hope you all had a good day, and goodbye.